That was my bad there. Welcome to 40 Sports Talk on 1320 AM radio. We have the Webb hockey team, West East Bridgewater Boys Hockey with us. Coach just asked your last name. You want to repeat that one last time. I was about to butcher it yet again.
Dorico.
Coach Mike Dorico with us. Anthony Patete is probably how you do not pronounce it, but that's my best attempt at least. And then Sean Noonan is, of course, the easiest one to pronounce on that list. They are both the captains for this team. We will be going on with this interview at a little bit of a rough start right there. We are back into this. We'll be all good now. Casey and Justin, you obviously have some questions prepared, as do I. Would you want to start this off?
Yeah, sure. So I have a question for the players. So do you have any memorable moments throughout the season?
Some memorable moments. Definitely just, coming to practice 4 days a week, having the game in between, just something really special with the boys. Just a bond. Just amazing, Just every day is special.
No, 100%. Okay. My bad. I was a little bit cloudy in the mind there for a second. I did not realize the show was starting that quick. We have gathered ourselves now. We will be doing a lot better for this interview. I wanted to basically ask you guys, Coach, obviously, last year was just East Bridgewater, I believe, that you coached.
That is correct, yes.
Now this year's a little bit of co-op with West Bridgewater. Wanted to ask how that transition from coaching just one team with a little bit of select players on it to coaching a team that has two different schools combining onto it.
Well, the bottom line is we needed the co-op to continue the ice hockey program at East Bridgewater High School. The numbers were starting to get low, and we've been in the process of looking at co-op options for the past 2 years. When I was hired last November, the talks really started to grow even more, so my athletic director and I got very involved. Pat Leonard, the athletic director at East Bridgewater High School. So we got really involved, and we were always hoping that the West Bridgewater High School program would work, where the East Bridgewater and West Bridgewater girls had established a co-op, and we were really trying to make it a one umbrella thing, for boys and girls hockey at the two schools. And we were successful at doing that. We had to jump through some hoops and a couple of obstacles to overcome, but eventually the Mayflower League, where the West Bridgewater players participate in, and our South Shore League all voted on it eventually to make sure that the co-op was established. And by the time it was established, which I believe was this past October, we were able to get these boys to get with one another, and they united very quickly. They bonded very quickly, and we were off to a very, very special start at the beginning. Record may not dictate that, but once we got past the first 6 games of the season, these boys really turned it on, and the rest is kind of history for the way the season went.
Yeah, no, 100%. Even though you said the record doesn't dictate, you guys got a winning season first year with a co-op. That's pretty impressive to do.
Very happy about that. We were 0-12 last year with a shortened season because of COVID, yeah. And this year, we started 0-5-1, but there was fight, there was spark. We made some line adjustments throughout the first part of the season to really get things clicking, and after that 0-5-1 start, they finished the season 10-8-3, and we went up and played a tournament game just this past Thursday night against a extremely talented Shawshene Valley hockey team, and these boys, they battled right to the end. We lost in overtime, unfortunately, but I couldn't be more proud. These kids really did a job together as one under two schools. It was great.
No, 100%. You just have to think, the fact that you guys went winless last season, you made the playoffs this season. That's a massive win by itself. You can't just go from that to winning a championship immediately. You have to take the baby steps, and you guys did that perfectly. You guys
Huge baby step.
Yeah, a massive baby step, an adult step at that point, a man step. But you basically said that you started off 0-5-1, right? So that means that you finished the season 10-3-2. That's an amazing record. That's nothing to be ashamed of at all.
Not ashamed one bit. I couldn't tell you how. I've said it to these guys. I've said it to my family, and I've said it to my peers. I'm super proud of what this team did. My coaching staff, these boys, their parents, their families, just never gave up and believed in the season, even with a slow start. And super proud.
Yeah, I think one reason that the co-op team works so well is you have so many players who can play different roles on a team. I actually want to bring up Anthony. You played goalie last year, and now you're the leading scorer on the team. How was that adjustment between the 2 years?
It was a big adjustment, but freshman year, I was still in the first line with a couple of my freshman buddies, and after the goalie season, after a tough season, I just really wanted to have a really big year coming back, and I think me playing with Sean and my other line mate Jeff Young really helped that, and we had a great season.
Yeah, 100%. The fact that you can take on two such different roles and thrive in both of them is just amazing to see. That's crazy.
Well, let me just add that if this boy doesn't step in net last year, we may not have a program last year. And then we're not even talking co-op this year. So what this guy's done for this program is pretty special. And, you really should be proud of yourself for that because and I'll tell you, he saw about 50-plus shots a game last year, and his save percentage was pretty damn good. It was about 86%, if I'm not mistaken.
Dang.
He got peppered. He got peppered.
He got pelleted.
And he did a great job. And again, more importantly, it saved the program. It really was. It was a big reason that the program's still what it is. So.
Yeah, everyone can win like a high school championship, but if you're able to save a program as your team, I feel like that's over winning a championship. That's saving an entire school's future. That's not just one singular game that you can look back on.
Right. So how did that happen? By the way, this is Lucy Cabral, co-hosting here. Yeah, how did that happen? I mean, you were in the front line shooting goals, right? And you were a goalie.
So basically, we had two goalies before. One of them went to BC High, and the other one went to Bridgewater Raynham. And it was just we don't really have any young goalies at the time. We didn't, and at the time it was also just East Bridgewater kids. So we really had to find something. And the last second, I was just like, I'll just try it out. It's for the senior captains, Jack Perry and Gage Lonigan, in the 2019-2020 season. I couldn't let them not have a season. So
Anthony had a little experience as a youth goaltender, and I think that's what sparked it a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah, a little bit. I played a couple of games like when I was really younger, and I kind of liked it. So I thought I'd just try it out again, and even with like a losing record and not having a win, it was still a fun experience.
Yeah, it's funny to think that when you're a little kid playing goal, you're probably thinking, I'm never going to be doing this again. I'm never going to need this. You end up saving a whole season because of those couple games in goal.
Right.
But-
Saving the whole program.
Yeah, would you talk about that being your memorable moment, like from being goalie to shooting shots? What position did you go to?
So this year I played center with, again, Sean Noonan and Jeff Young. And, I'd say it's one of the memorable moments, but, I think my memorable moment of the season was just winning that game to get into the tournament for the first time in like 8 years. It was just a huge step for both schools, and especially East Bridgewater, who hasn't made it in a while. I'd say 8 to 10 years.
No, yeah, you have to hold your head high after that for sure. That's just a major accomplishment. So I basically saw it. Oh, my bad.
Oh, that's okay. No, that's okay. So who is in goalie now? Is it Braden?
That's what I was about to bring up, Braden Bates. I wanted to ask you guys,
Yeah.
he's an 8th grader, right?
Yeah.
How has it been having an 8th grader, not even a high schooler on your team? Because obviously you have to coach up freshmen a good amount of the time, but has the whole team kind of crowded around, coached up that 8th grader, felt him as a family member now at this point?
So because the two schools are junior, senior high schools, we have the ability to allow that grade as a participation grade. We were very fortunate to have not just Braden, but two other goaltenders in the same grade show up to participate on the team this season. And we were able to develop, 3 goaltenders at the high school level. Though Braden got the play-in time, all 22 games. The other 2 boys, Jason Cabral and Brody Pack, both have now the learning experience under their belt moving forward. But Braden's pretty special. We looked at him prior to the season. When I say we, I mean me. And noticed that he had a lot of talent and ability that could possibly be worked with at the high school level. And then when he showed up for tryout, well, we don't call them tryouts in a co-op, but when he showed up for practice and when we started getting the season going, he really has an unbelievable work ethic. During practice, outside of practice, he participates on a couple of other teams during the season because of his grade. He's able to play full season hockey at the youth level and at the junior high level. So he gets a lot of hockey, which is great. And when he started seeing pucks and when he started seeing shots from guys like Sean and Anthony and some of these other guys that can really bring it, his confidence grew. His confidence grew tremendously, and he really just put a lot of work into making himself better for the team and the program. And because of that, we were able to be successful on the ice in front of him. and more importantly, he was able to keep us in games. And ultimately, get to the point we got to this season. So it's an amazing accomplishment for somebody that age, and they do almost more than you expect them to do. And I know Anthony feels great about that because he didn't have to go back in that net this year. But I think overall it's just his work ethic, and we're extremely proud of him. And we have a bright future in that position, a bright future because, like I said, we have the other two boys, and wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some of the younger kids in the 4th, 5th, 6th grade start thinking, hey, I live in West Bridgewater, I live in East Bridgewater, I'd love to stay and play with this program. And, I'm sure there's another goalie or two down the pipeline. And that's what it's always been about, developing the future of this program so that it's always going to have something there. So, but we're very proud of Braden. He's tremendous job this year.
Yeah, I think having that co-op, it kind of made you guys create your own feeder system now. You're going to just have people from the younger grades going up and up, starting to get a little bit of training from the high schoolers. They'll be ready for high school way before anyone else.
Yep, absolutely. And there's a lot of people involved with some of the off-season stuff that they're looking into now, whether it's club hockey, whether it's local youth hockey. There's junior high programs available now, and they do some coaches league stuff over the summer. So the goal for these guys, when it's off season, is to keep the bond and make sure that these guys still, do stuff together on and off the ice through the next 9-10 months, whatever it is, so that when we come back to the season next year, that I'm prepared day one for what they're going to bring to the table. And I know Anthony, being captain, will probably take the leadership role on that and keep the connection with his teammates to make sure that they get the most quality hockey they can get in the off season, getting ready for next year. That's
yeah, now that COVID's done, it's nice that you can actually have those team building moments again. You really didn't have those last year. So we are going to go into our first break. We have had the Webb West East Bridgewater boys hockey team with us so far. Once we get back from break, I'm going to stop leaving Sean out in the dark. Actually going to ask him some questions when we come back. This is 4D Sports Talk on 1320 AM radio. Calling at 508-222-1320 if you want to call. That's 508-222-1320. We will be right back.
Excellent. Excellent. See, it's really
Hey everyone, and welcome back to 4D Sports Talk here at 1320 AM WARA, and we have the privilege of highlighting West and East Bridgewater boys hockey, which is the Webb boys hockey, as you all can see on the screen, on the TV screen. So, moving on to the questions. So, questions for all of you, actually. So, who was your favorite opponent to go up against?
Favorite opponent? Definitely, I'm saying Rockland, you know. I know some kids from that team. It's a fun game. Both times we played them, you know. Pretty fun, yeah.
I'd say either Rockland or Abington, just because of the amount of kids I know from both teams, playing with them in town hockey, and just like, just them beating us all the time over the years, and then to finally get one win against both of them this year was just huge for us. It was just a fun time playing all those guys.
Was both those wins during that streak where you guys went on 10 wins to, I believe it was 3 losses? Was it during that streak?
Yeah. Yes.
That's awesome to see. That must have just been a massive energy boost during that. So I basically wanted to talk to both of you. You both were captains this year, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask, what was it like this year, taking on that leadership role, basically having to teach the other kids who basically joined the team this year? You didn't know 8 of them before this year. How was it taking them under your wing, basically getting them ready to continue on in the future?
You know, it's definitely a big role. You know, nothing me and Teddy can't handle, you know, but, you know, definitely just, you know, just show, be a good leader, just carry the team, you know, do the right thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, working with the younger kids was just awesome. It's a big role, like, especially our goaltender, getting them ready, like, at the start of those captain's practice, shooting pucks at them, and then all these younger kids, like the 7th graders, getting them into practice, getting them into drills and stuff, having them practice and get better for the future. Like, it was a big role, but I think it worked out really good. We had no problems, so it was fun.
Yeah, so as captains, you guys are basically in charge of getting the team to meld together, ingratiate everyone perfectly. What type of team building exercises do you guys do? Do you guys have, like, team dinners? You guys have meetings after practices?
Yeah, we do, like, pasta fest.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah, we usually, at the start of the year, we had a lot of meetings, you know, like before big games, like what we're going to do at practice to get, like, really ready for practice, you know, and, like, right when we hit the ice for a practice, we're just ready to go right into the drills.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference you see between successful teams and non-successful teams. The successful teams make sure everyone feels like they're part of the team, make sure they feel like they have a role in the team. Unsuccessful teams don't do that. They basically leave people in the dark. Can't be doing that for your team.
Yeah.
So, Justin, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask him?
Sure. So, looking back, what do you think it takes to be a good hockey player?
To be a good hockey player, you know, definitely just got to be a team player, you know. Definitely got to have a, you know, strong bond with the players on your team because, you know, that really helps. Just put in the work on the off season and during practice and, you know, just grind.
Yeah, similar to what Sean was saying, definitely team bonding, like knowing your guys out there, preparing for the season, like in the off season, always skating, try to hit the weight room, and then showing up hard to practice, like practice how you play, that's how they say it. And when the game comes around, you just got to be skating all the time. And, yeah, like he also said, being a team player is huge for the team, you know?
Yeah, basically putting the hard work in, having humility, making sure that you make sure everyone on the team is just feeling comfortable. That's for sure what you should do. But Anthony and Sean, I'd like to ask both of you. Over the last couple of years, obviously, Sean, you are a senior, and then Anthony, you are a junior. So 3 years for you, 4 years for you, Sean. What do you think the biggest difference between your freshman year of hockey, where you're training, your mindset basically, compared to now is?
The difference, well, freshman year, you know, you're small and, you know, you kind of just look up to the older kids and you just, you know, play your role as that freshman kid, you know, during practice, fill the waters, get the pucks, you know. And then now you're a senior and you just, you know, you remember that feeling when you were a freshman, you know, and just like, it's just a crazy feeling. You're like, wow, I'm a senior now and it's my last year, you know. Goes by fast, actually. Pretty
Yeah.
fast.
Now, when you're standing in the spot that you were watching
Yeah.
people stand before,
Yeah.
it's just a crazy sight.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is.
I mean, the big difference, just like freshman year, exactly like Newman said, like you're young, you're new to the team. You know, you're just going to be that, like whatever a captain tells you to do, you're going to do it because you want to be in that spot someday. And just like grinding, like hitting the weight room, always practicing, like trying to get better, like for those years that you're going to be out there on that first or second line doing what you're doing and scoring goals for the team when you're older. You know, it's just a lot of preparation and a lot of hard work you got to put in.
Yeah, would you say that you learned a lot through your past 3 years and your past 4 years?
Yeah, I definitely would say I learned a lot. We went through a couple of coaches. Now with Coach Rico, one of the best. Yeah, but definitely learned a lot. Through those 4 years, definitely.
Yeah, definitely learned a lot. Like Sean said, going through a lot of coaches. Like I feel like we really found the right coach. Like coach in the past. I mean, there was some good coaches out there, but not really like the best fit for our team. And I feel like we really found that the past 2 years with Coach Rico stepping in, and our assistant coaches, Coach Steve Bradbury and Coach Pat McKenna. But yeah, it's been a good year this year from like the not so recent success we've had in the past. So
Yeah, so Anthony and Sean, you obviously talked about you learned a lot from Coach. What would you say the main message that coaches preached this year has been in the locker room?
Definitely character. Just, everything else is secondary. Character is first, always, right?
yeah, I'd say it's definitely character, like on and off the ice, especially off the ice, like showing that you're a part of this team, you're representing both schools, do it the right way on and off the ice. Just make sure you're doing the right things.
Yeah, it's obviously easy to or not too easy, but it's easier to coach just a good player in a sport. It's harder to actually coach a good person. That's one thing that really good coaches do. I gotta give you respect for that, Coach, for sure.
Thank you. I'm very fortunate I have a group of great kids. So that makes it easier. But these guys are right. We treat them as student athletes, student being first,
Yeah.
athlete being second. And, I tell them all the time to make sure that they represent the hockey program and their schools, on and off the ice. And for the most part, when they are on the ice, they represent themselves very well. We're very low in penalty minutes as a team. We have great sportsmanship throughout games that get very competitive. They have their moments. They're hockey players, right? That's part of the game. But I know, historically speaking, that this team has come dramatically far and a long way from years past with on-ice antics and off-ice antics. So, yeah, you're always proud of a win. You're always proud of a successful season. But I'm more proud of the fact that we've got good men, and that goes a long way with me.
Yeah, Coach, I think you preaching character has just brought the maturity level of your team just up so much more. Obviously, during the break, I thought Anthony was a senior already. Kind of tricked me. A little mature past this
I
year.
thought so too.
But now, of course, Anthony is a junior. Sean, though, you are a senior. I wanted to ask, did this year have a little bit of special meaning to you, knowing that it was your senior year?
Yeah, definitely. It was really special, last year of high school hockey. Just want to, make it just, a good year, and it definitely was, great coach, great players. Just couldn't ask for a better year.
Yeah, I think when you're a freshman, you're a sophomore, you're a junior, sometimes you can go to those workouts, you can go practice, you can be thinking, like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing this for a couple more years. I don't really want to do this. Senior year, though, you're just sitting there, you're soaking everything in around you, just appreciating everything, because it might be the last time. But do you have any plans to play in college or anything?
I am attending Massasoit. They don't have a hockey team, so I don't know. I might play juniors. I think, yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of adult leagues and
yeah,
stuff like that. Intramural you can join for sure, so you don't have to give up on that. That'd be awesome. Then, Anthony, do you have any plans on playing in college yet? You're obviously a junior, so it's pretty early.
So I do play high school soccer. I've had a couple schools reach out to me about that, and hockey's still open for like something. I do want to play. It's just I think my growth in the game has to get a lot better. But yeah, it's still open. I'd probably want to go to school for sports management as like major, I'd say. So yeah, the door's still open for hockey and the door's open for soccer. I just haven't made a final decision yet.
It's funny hearing a team's leading scorer say that they got a lot to work on. Hockey, I feel you don't have too much to work on, but either way you'll be fine. What position do you play in soccer?
So I play goalie in soccer.
That was making a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
Don't forget to add in you with the lacrosse goalie last season, too.
Were you actually a lacrosse goalie?
Yeah, I never really played lacrosse.
Oh, wow.
And my buddies just wanted me to play, so I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Anthony's just an athlete.
He loves being in between the pipes.
That's 3 separate sports you slot in a goal just because you want to. That's pretty funny to see. So, did you only play lacrosse last year, you said?
Yeah, it was my first year last year.
You
Yeah.
plan on playing this year?
No, not this year. I gotta focus on some other stuff. But I mean, last year I joined in like 3 games late, so I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, anything could
Be
happen.
pretty
So-
damn good.
anything can
though.
happen. I don't know.
The goalie goes down.
Yeah, might have to call on Anthony, call on a favor, get the big
Yeah.
guns in here. So, Sean, I was talking to you earlier about playing lacrosse, right? Do you plan on playing this year?
I do plan on playing this year. You know, I played my freshman year, and then they didn't have a team sophomore year because of COVID, and then I played last year. So yeah, just play this year. You know,
100%. You should
Senior,
get that final
might as well
season
just-
in.
might as well take it all in.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's a great idea. So, Sean and Anthony, I'd like to ask you both, since I didn't realize both of you were multi-sport athletes, do you think having that second sport in a different season really gets you ready for the hockey season, keeps you conditioned, then gets your mindset right for that?
I think it definitely does. You know, playing multi sports, and then I think it just helps with all like that, you know, that hand-eye coordination and stuff, like staying in touch with that and keeping the cardio up. You know, definitely helps.
Yeah, people don't realize how quick that stuff can go if you really don't pay
Yeah.
attention to it. Some people take a whole off season off from running, then they get right before the hockey season, they realize, oh, I cannot skate as fast as last year. What's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Anthony, what about you? How do you feel having that second sport really helps you with this?
So yeah, definitely the stamina part of it, like especially soccer and lacrosse. You're always running, like especially lacrosse and practice. You're doing some quick sprints. You know, you're working the ball, getting open, and in soccer, of course, like you're always on the field. Like you're gonna go out there for a big shift, and you're gonna always be running. And I mean, goalie's not like the biggest running part of soccer, but I mean, still, you always got to be ready, and you still do the same stuff as the players do in practice. So I think it's a huge part of it to get ready for hockey season.
No, exactly. It's not like the goalie sits out while the rest of the team runs. You still have to run those laps with them.
Yeah, I actually played soccer last year too.
Yeah?
For the first year of high school soccer, I played for me. I
Yeah.
played goalie too. I just said I'll play. You know, my buddies are on that team, so it is a lot of running during practice.
Yeah.
Even though you are the goaltender, sprints and stuff. So yeah.
No, 100%.
Definitely
Everyone has
gets
to
you
be
in shape,
conditioned on that. They want to go in no goalie situation at the end of the game. You need that goalie to be able to run across the field. That's pretty funny that both of you, when you just had the first times playing those sports, you just chose right to go to goalie. You with lacrosse, you with soccer. It's pretty amazing to see. So we are about ready for our second break of the show. We will be back in a couple minutes. We have the Webb boys hockey team with us, West East Bridgewater. We have Coach Mike DeRico, Anthony Patetti, and Sean Noonan with us right now, the captains of this team. We'll be back after this break. If you want to call in, it's 508-222-1320. That is 508-222-1320. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 more.
Welcome back to 40 Sports Talk on 1320 AM radio WARA. We have the West East Bridgewater Boys hockey team with us, and we are getting a call right now. So we're going to see who that is. Welcome, caller. You are now on the line.
Hello.
Hello? You are now live on the radio on 40 Sports Talk.
Hey, I just wanted to call in. You got a fine group of men in there. This is Steve Bradbury calling in.
That's my assistant coach, Joe.
Oh, nice.
Steve.
Yeah, what's going on,
Hi,
Coach?
Coach.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just listening, a lot of good stuff. I just wanted to put my quick 2 cents in about not only the 2 fine athletes that are sitting there that conducted themselves like professionals all season long. It's been a pleasure to work with these young men. But, you know, the whole program as a whole is really taking leaps and bounds under Coach Mike, and we're headed for a good run, I think. So I just wanted to call in. I couldn't be there. Wanted to let these guys know they have my 110% support behind them, and I couldn't be prouder of them for this year.
Nah, Coach, thank you for calling in. That's awesome for you to say about your players. I want to ask you before you go, though, would you like to say over the last year how it has been seeing the growth of these 2 players with your own eyes?
Wow. I mean, I don't know. I didn't catch the beginning of the interview because I was just getting out of work, but I've been involved with hockey since my first head coaching job was in 1986, so that just tells you back how far I've been involved with a lot of young hockey players. This year, by far, has been way beyond expectations. These kids have just... We started out, what was it, 05-1, Mike? You know,
Yes.
And we sat back and you know, we're like, all right, let's strip it down and see what we have. And these kids really, really, really stepped up. The change from week 1 to Thursday night it's a dream. It really is a dream, and it was such a pleasure. I'm honored to even be involved with the program. You know, hockey wasn't there when I was in high school. I went to East Bridgewater High myself. It was moved to Proposition 2.5. So, you know, I vowed if I ever had a chance, I'd get involved. And when Mike got the nod, I couldn't have been happier to be involved with these guys. They did all the work. We kind of lined it up, but they did all the work. You know, and it's leaders like Sean and Anthony, Brett, Luke, Randy, you know, all these guys, Jeffrey, they believe in the system. And the best part about the whole thing was they didn't care if you were a senior, if you were a 7th grader, you were on that team. And that's leaps and bounds. That speaks volumes on what kind of men we have.
Coach, I'm so happy you just said that because we have been talking about their character and the team being a family this entire time. It's amazing just to get a second source agreeing with that.
Yep, it is. It really is, and I think the sky's the limit. I think you know, I hope the co-op sticks around for as long as we can keep it together and you know, see these kids. You know, it's not the end for these seniors for me. I will follow them. I will make sure, you know, Coach Mike stays in touch with them all. We'll follow their careers along whatever path they take, and I can guarantee you it's going to be good. They're all good.
Yeah, Coach, I can bet these players just loved you saying that. That was an amazing call. Thank you for calling in and talking about these players on air for us right now.
Awesome. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, no problem. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Coach Steve.
See ya.
Thanks, Steve.
Later, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, that was a call from Coach Steve. That was pretty cool to get there. Did not expect him to actually call in. That was pretty
awesome.
cool. But we are now back from our break, of course. We are with the West and East Bridgewater boys hockey team. Is the same team, the Webb hockey team. Coach Mike DeRico, of course, Anthony Patetti, and Sean Noonan are the players with us right now, and, of course, the coach. We are going to be continuing on. Justin, before the break, I heard you say you had a couple questions left. Would you like to start us off?
Yeah, sure. Is there anything you want to improve on?
I think we always want to improve. I mean, that's what makes programs successful. As far as team chemistry goes, as far as character goes, I think we pinnacled on that. But we certainly have some younger players in the system. that we would like to see them develop more and grow, and maybe come up with some unity, like I said earlier, in the off season, to make sure that going into the in season that it's there. Any of the juniors and sophomores that we had play big minutes for us this year, I'd love to see them work in the off season to prepare for next year. But we'll have those discussions with those players and give them kind of a guide on what to work on between now and next November. But yeah, there's always room. You always want to improve. You always want to improve.
Yeah, as we talk about the younger players, we of course talked about the goalies earlier. You have 3 who are already all being trained for high school as 8th graders. Are there any other younger players that you see a little bit potential in right now?
So just to backtrack a little bit on that and leading into the younger players with potential, we're graduating 3 seniors this year. All right, Sean being one of them, but Randy Pratt, who's a West Bridgewater student, and Jeffrey Young, who's an East Bridgewater student. These
Coach,
3.
we're getting another call.
Another call.
So
Let's take it.
You want to come
Let's
right back to
take
that
it.
after this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's see who is calling in. Welcome to 40 Sports Talk. You are now live.
Hi, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. I got a question for the head coach.
Got a question for the head coach? Okay, let's hear it.
I do. So, how did it feel coaching against your son last year as your first-year coach as EB High?
Well, that sounds like my son's voice right there, actually. To be honest with you.
It is your son.
Hi, Steven. So,
Yeah.
Stephen DeRico, my son, and my other son, Michael DeRico, both were members of the Middleborough High School hockey team for 4 years consecutively each. So I was a hockey dad for 8 years with the Middleborough High School hockey program. And last year, my first year as a coach, Middleborough being in the South Shore League, we were able to play them twice last year. And I was, for the first time in my life, coaching against my son, and it was fun. It was fun because of COVID. Fans, it was restricted fans, so I was fortunate enough to actually be in the arena while my son was able to play hockey. Where a lot of parents last year had to watch on Live Barn or had to watch or listen from home, whatever it was, you know. So I'm always proud to watch my kids do things. And to have that last year, his senior year, have that bond, it was pretty cool. So, Stephen, thanks for calling in. That was really nice of you, and now everybody knows how I feel about you. So.
No problem, and congratulations on the whole season. I told you that already.
Yeah, my family has been a tremendous support. I have 3 children, and my wife, Marla, has been a huge supporter of me even interviewing for the job. Taking the job at my alma mater, and when I told my son his senior year that I was going to possibly be in the running to be the head coach at an opposing school, he was the first one to tell me to go for it. So I do appreciate the family support. So.
Yeah, that's great to see supports on all sides of your family. That's really cool. But, Coach, I gotta ask you, to be honest with you real quick. When you coached against your son, you throw another play on him, double him in most of that game so he wouldn't be able to brag about scoring on you?
No, he wasn't good enough to do that against. So, no, just kidding, Steve. No, we just had a lot of fun. At the game, we won't say exactly what went on between us during those games, but we had a lot of fun, and it was
Coach,
good. It was good.
100%. You mentioned the fact that you're one of the only parents who's actually able to watch their kid in the stadium last year. We were talking about earlier how Anthony obviously played goalie in Little League, and now he plays goalie in high school. Then he switched back to obviously playing center, but he did play goalie last year. When you took this job, you probably never expected, wow, I'm going to be able to watch my son play a game while no one else is going to see it.
No, not at all. We at the time when I was hired, were we even going to have a season?
Yeah.
That was even the big question at that point. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think the first game was played until January of that year. Typically, they'll start the first week of December or second week of December. So the season was pushed off, with mask mandates and capacity levels or no fans at all, if you will.
Yeah.
So we didn't even know we were going to have a season. So, yeah, that was a little bonus. I mean, that was a little bit of a bonus. But, I really feel bad for the parents that, didn't have a role like I did to be able to be in that arena with their child and whatnot. But I'd like to think that those days are behind us.
Yeah, now we're finally out of it. We're finally back to normalcy. It's a lot better now. But yeah, no, thank you for calling in. I can guarantee that coach appreciates that call. It was pretty great to see a little bit of father-son relationship over the broadcast right now.
That was good stuff.
Yeah,
but-
no problem. I'll see you when you get home.
See you, bud. So yeah, back to Randy and Jeffrey, our other seniors. A lot like Sean, they were both assistant captains for us as seniors, and two special gentlemen, very unique characters in the sense that they, lead by example as well, and they come with a great attitude, always hustling. There was never any give up by these three guys, and I'm going to miss the heck out of them, to be honest with you. I was fortunate enough to have a year with Randy prior to his senior year as his youth hockey coach for a midget hockey team with the Bruins organization. So that's how Randy and I actually had our first encounter. And the fact that Randy actually had the choice to come play with the co-op or be grandfathered in to stay with the Southeastern group. They allowed that for their seniors this year. And I'm glad he made the decision he did, because not only is he a great hockey player, a great asset to our team, but these guys will be the first to tell you he's a great friend. He's a great friend, and he's a good guy that established a lot of bonds. And Jeffrey's no different. Jeffrey Young was just as special. And then moving down, I can't say enough about my other two assistant captains, Luke Perry and Brett Peterson. Two tremendous hockey players, two tremendous guys that care about other people and the program. They leave it all out on the ice. Their effort is incredible. Their practice work ethic is incredible. It's just a unique group of these six guys that, were quote unquote our captain's staff. To have six guys in a role like that it may be a little over the top. But we did it because all those guys show that leadership on and off the ice, And then, we're fortunate enough to have a guy like Kyle Mcdonald, who's a junior this year as well. We have a very young team. We're only graduating 3. So, Kyle, who's, we brought him in, last year. He played a little defense, played a little offense, this and that. And then, he started out the year on defense. And then, we move him up to forward. He gets on the second line, and his points. He doubles his points. And so to kind of talk about our junior class, Matt Martineau, another great defenseman from West Bridgewater High School. That's our junior mix, and then we have another junior who's really just played his first year of hockey this year from West Bridgewater High School, Bryce Layton, who's going to be an impact player next season. And then we have a tremendous sophomore group of players like Sam Hall and Evan Brew and Christian Bates. Caleb Silva's another one, just work, and wants to, earn a spot next year more on a full-time basis. We have a freshman, Aiden Baldner, who was one of our top 4 defensemen this year, and really made an impact on our defensive unit. As far as what's below that, we had an 8th grader that did skate quite a bit for us this year, Tyler Henderson. A bright future, and he's going to grow into his role, and he's also going to be a big part of our squad next year. But after that, we let our 7th graders practice. We don't dress them. And I'm sure between the grade and whatever 8th graders we were able to practice this year, that's our future. So as far as any impact players next year from that young, hard to say. I mean, most of our impact players, I think, are going to come off of our current roster this past season. One thing I will say about Sean, too, that never came up, going back to Sean, Sean, I think, was a natural forward most of his life and went back and played defense due to some issues, some concussion issues, if I'm not mistaken. And the beginning of the year, we said, Sean, you're on defense, and blah, 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 blah. And Coach Steve, a couple games into the season, he was petitioning for Sean to move up to forward again. We waited a game or two, and then we made the move. And I'll tell you, I think Sean moved up to forward right around the time we started winning games, and that was it was a great decision that we made. We got Sean's consent and his family's consent to do it, but I think it made a huge difference, and I was able to put Anthony and Sean together on a line and allow Brett and Luke and Kyle to be on a line together, which really was catalyst to have those top 2 lines the way we were able to do it. So yeah, that's kind of how it looks moving forward, if you will.
Yeah, no, for sure. Coach, when I heard you talking about your players, you can just tell how much you care about them. Your players right here obviously say you preach character in the locker room. I assume that comes from you having a lot of character yourself.
I do. I was brought up that way. I believe in, treat people the way you want to be treated. I can be a hard ass. I can do what I have to do to get my point across when the time is right. But at the end of the day, these guys will respect you if you respect them.
Yeah.
And
no, it's obviously hard to find.
It's important to me that I coach them that way.
Yeah, it's hard to find the equalizer between being too hard and being too soft, obviously. I think that you found it perfectly so far. But we are about getting time for our third and final break. So when we get back, we have the West East Bridgewater Webb boys hockey team coached by Mike Dorico. We got the two captains here, Anthony Patetti and Sean Noonan. We'll be right back after this. If you want to call in, it's 508-222-1320, 508-222-1320. Thank you for listening.
I think I got him. I suppose that's a good sign when you have all these questions for a team, right?
Absolutely. That's homework. It's homework for us.
Welcome back to 40 Sports Talk on 1320 AM radio WARA. We have the West East Bridgewater boys hockey team with us, coached by Mike Dorico. Then we got the two captains, Anthony Patetti and Sean Noonan, with us right now. We're going to be starting off this fourth quarter just reading some scores from boys basketball, girls basketball, and boys hockey from this weekend.
And girls hockey, too.
We got girls hockey, too?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Nice. Okay, we got all of it then. Okay, we're going to be loading up the music in 1 second.
Is my mic on?
Yeah, your mic is on, Casey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody
I
should
didn't.
be.
I thought I didn't hear myself.
Oh, no, you're right here. We're all good. We were just waiting to get past this ad right now, so we'll start up the music in 1 second. Just need to raise up that level. Rails and CPU too. There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah, I like this
I like
song.
Yeah, Casey, you want to start us off?
Yes. So starting off in girls basketball in the Division 1 in the first round, Andover beats Newton South 63-42 in overtime, and Framingham over Natick 65-48. Newton North over Bridgewater Raynham 41-39. Chelmsford over Hopkinton 45-44. Central Catholic over Concord Carlisle 75-33. Bishop Fian over Peabody 67-30. Wachusett over King Philip 54-36. Reading over Needham 64-47. Brookline over Algonquin 77-47. Woburn over Mansfield, 42-37. Springfield Central over Lexington, 58-23. Hingham over Marshfield, 59-39. Lincoln Sudbury over Winchester, 60-48. And Franklin over Braintree, 70-43. And now moving on to Division 2. So all the games will be from the first round of the playoffs. Norwood over Dartmouth, 54-34. I repeat, it's Division 2 now. Amherst Pelham over Westboro, 48-38. Pentucket over Ursuline, 64-41. Walpole over Notre Dame Hingham, 52-33. Whitman Hanson over Longmeadow, 52-23. Medfield over Duxbury, 56-21. Wakefield over Bedford, 45-35. Westwood over Northampton, 42-19. Canton over Tewksbury, 56-49. Oliver Ames over North Middlesex, 79-36. Foxborough over Nashaba, 56-38. Chicopee over Ashland, 63-37. And now we're moving on to Division 3 in girls basketball. All games are from the first round of the playoffs. Medway over Arlington Catholic, 50-23. Dedham over Archbishop Williams, 49-35. East Bridgewater over Bellingham, 49-22. Rockland over Cardinal Spellman, 60-33. Tantascwa over Sandwich, 53-33. Dover Sherborne over Latin Academy, 56-26. St. Mary's over Stoneham, 78-44. And last but not least, Watertown over Greater Lowell, 53-28.
All right, Justin, you want to go next?
All right, sure. Okay.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Oh, we still got more, Casey?
Yeah, I thought it was done. So, Norwell over Monty Tech, 67-49. Dennis Yarmouth over Austin Prep, 50-47. Hudson over Belchertown, 56-35. And last but not least, like really, Bishop Fenwick over Triton, 80-41.
All right, now we'll pass it, Justin.
Now we're going on to
Sorry
boys.
about that, Justin.
No, it's
you're
fine.
good, Casey.
All right, boys hockey in Division 1. Austin Prep 5, Falmouth 1, Belmont 3, Natick 0. In Division 2, Longmeadow 4, Allegheny 1, Newburyport 3, Wilmington 0, Plymouth North 3, Concord Crystal 1. Division 3, Danvers 6, Southeastern BP 1, Hopendale 4, Middleborough 2, Dartmouth Tygesboro 6, Matthew 3. Girls hockey in Division 1, Austin Prep 11, Ursuline 0, Hypen 6, Mansfield OA Foxborough 1, St. Mary's 7, Wayland Weston 0, Abington 4, Marblehead 1, Bishop Freeham 8, Arlington Catholic 2, Pope Francis 5, Quincy North Quincy 4, and Division 2, Andover 4, Franklin 0.
All right, Justin, we all good for your
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to speed through boys basketball right now as fast as we can. We got MIAA Division 1, BC High defeated Lynn English 82-43, and following that is Worcester North beating Everett 66-54, Central Catholic over Hingham 79-42, Beverly over Haverhill 87-50, Springfield Central over Cambridge 77-60, Brookline over Newton South 79-62, Catholic Memorial over Attleboro 66-62, Franklin over Durfee 60-39. Continuing on with MIA Division 1, Newton North over Wesley 64-51, Westford over St. John's Prep 41-40 in overtime. Needham defeated Methuen 51-41. Winchester over Natick, 56-55, 1 point game. Wachusett defeated Bridgewater Raynham 75-55, and Taunton defeated Concord Carl 64-59 to move on to the playoffs. MIA Division II, we had Mullen Catholic over Nauset 85-36. Agawam 73, Sharon 66. Agawam with the win. Walpole defeated Foxborough 73-70. Leo Minster defeated Newburyport 69-53. Scituate defeated Revere 80-41. Pembroke over West Springfield 60-40. Wakefield over Pope Francis 67-56. Mansfield over Middleborough 73-40. Continuing on, we have Shepherd Hill over East Longmeadow 65-63. Salem over Medfield 73-63. Burlington over Charlestown 72-71 in a 1 point game. Holyoke over Bedford 60-50. Then Drassusett over Amherst Pelham 59-51. Then continuing on for the final division, we got MIA Division III. St. Mary's over Chelsea 94-60. Norwell over Austin Prep 71-64. Abington over Fairhaven 53-49. Dover Shoreborn defeated Shawsheen 71-56. Norton defeated Hudson 56-42. Oakmont defeated Hanover 65-55. Old Rochester defeated Cardinal Spellman 65-55. Watertown defeated Medway 54-39. Continuing on, we got North Reading defeating Greater New Bedford 69-40. Continuing on, we got Tech Boston over East Bridgewater 73-48. After that, we got Arlington Cathro or Tanta Squaw, as I believe they pronounce that, 66-58. Then Archbishop over Gloucester, 77-41. Latin Academy over Sandwich, 76-59. And finally, New Mission over Bishop Stang, 56-46. We have now finished these scores, and we'll get back in this interview with the Webb hockey team. Got about 3 minutes left. Let's see. Do you want to finish a question, Casey?
Yes. So, Coach, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
So I graduated from East Bridgewater High School in 1988. Baseball was my sport. I played 2 years of college baseball. And as I've always had a passion for the sport of ice hockey, when my kids were born, I got involved in youth hockey. And that's when my old high school buddy there, Coach Steve Bradbury, and I got together with my boys coaching youth hockey at Brockton Youth Hockey. Then we went to the Bruins Youth Hockey Organization. We were with the South Shore Eagles Youth Hockey Organization. I actually established some friendships with some of the players that are on my team now and their parents. And when the job opened up, that's when it all kind of came to fruition for me. But like I said, my big sport was baseball. I coached high school baseball for a few years, Quincy High School, Middleborough High School as a JV and a freshman baseball coach. And did Little League baseball for many, many years. But the road turned a little bit toward ice hockey, and as soon as the job opened up and, having some high school experience with baseball, I wanted to look into the option of, doing something to get this program back where it needed to be, and here we are today. So.
No, 100%, Coach. That is great to hear.
So what were your pregame rituals? Just to be curious.
I'm going to let the boys talk about anything that went on when I wasn't in there. The only thing that I used to do is I'd go in there. I wouldn't rah-rah them too much. I would just let them know, this is the job at hand. You guys are capable of doing it. I had a thing with posting quotes on the locker room each game to kind of motivate, along with the starting lineups, et cetera. But yeah, I'll let you guys talk about some of the pregame stuff you guys used to do, because I would be off to the side kind of preparing for the game in my mind more than anything.
Are we talking pregame like when we get to the rink or like
just
before?
Anything?
All right, so at home, I like to have like a little snack, like probably like a PB&J or peanut butter fluff. I got to fill my waters, pack my bag. I always got to have a water bottle with some energy squirt in it. And, make sure my sticks are all set when I get to the rink. Then we go warm up, and then just do some stretching, and then just get dressed.
Yeah, that's basically it. Usually mine just starts when we show up to the rink, get stretching, get the music blasting in the locker room, getting everyone ready to go, and suiting up, like half dressed, go watch the game up before, getting the mindset ready to play, and then come back in the locker room, wait for coaches to come in, and then get ready to get on the ice.
Yeah, who'd you guys play for music before the games? I gotta know who that was.
So, there was a lot of, we usually played like 80s rock, to be honest.
Yeah.
Would Enter Sandman by Metallica be one of them? I like that song.
No, I don't think so.
No,
actually, I don't think so.
Oh.
But, there was a lot of, we usually have the same
Like
like
AC/DC.
pregame playlist every time.
Yeah.
AC/DC.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's great to hear. Then we are about ready for the end of the show. Has been a great interview with the West East Bridgewater boys hockey. Of course, Coach Mike DeRico, captains Anthony Patetti and Sean Noonan were the guests today. Amazing job, you guys. Would you like to give any final shout-outs right before we end this?
Just thank you for having us today. Thank you. Just hockey's been high school hockey's just been something super special for me. Especially this year. And thank you, Coach, to that. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming.
Yeah, we appreciate all you guys. You guys did great today. This was awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us, and if you ever would like to have us back again, we'd love to. It's been a great experience, and more importantly, we have a future with this program. And thanks to the two guys in here and a lot of other people that might not be in this room right now, but Webb is looking bright. So
No, 100%.
thank
I'm
you for
excited
having
to see
us.
all your guys' futures. I'll be keeping track of that for sure. This has been 40 Sports Talk with Joe Dez, Lucy Cabral, got Justin Ferrero over there, the Sports Master, and we got Casey. Well, we'll be back next weekend at 12 p.m. yet again till 1 p.m. Thank you for listening. This has been 40 Sports Talk.
Awesome job, boys.
That was great.